Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for CBS 6 News at noon. The big story this noontime, Election Day 2014. The polls have been open for 6 hours now, and Capital Region voters have been filtering in and out of election sites the whole time. Our Jennifer Mullen is at the Mater Christi School in Albany. She's live with more on what the voters had to say about this campaign season. And Jennifer, first of all, are there a lot of voters coming to the poll there?
There really are, Liz. Yesterday, we were telling our viewers that political experts were saying it was going to be a low voter turnout this year. Well, I've been to 3 polling places across the Capital Region this morning, and I can tell you they've all been very, very busy, especially Mater Christi, the parish center here. You can see there's people in and out casting their votes here right now. There's been a lot of foot traffic over the last 2 hours. Who knows? Maybe it's these baked goods here that they have at the front door. I know that Cooper, my photographer, and I have already dug into some. So maybe that's what's getting people out here this morning and this afternoon. But Mater Christi Parish Center, they've been very, very busy, and they're not alone. And we spoke to a lot of voters going in and out today to kind of see how Election Day is going. And one of the things that they said was it's not a presidential election, but they realize that this election is still very important. There's still a lot at stake. And that's one of the things that they say the younger generation may not really understand.
There's a lot of things that come with being a democracy, freedom of speech, and that type of thing. And there are some responsibilities that you have to return.
And another thing that was a pet peeve with a lot of the voters that we spoke to was you guessed it, campaign ads. A lot of people were not happy with the campaign ads this election season.
I think they're too bitter against one another. It's like a childish game, cutting down one another and costing us money.
Do you think it sways voters one way or the other?
I think it turns them off more than anything else.
A lot of the voters that we spoke to had a similar opinion. They said that the ads were a waste of money. They served no purpose. They were really aggravating to watch. Now, I want to point something out to you. If you are heading to the polls, if you haven't made it out yet this morning, the ballot, here it is. This is a sample ballot. Make sure you turn it over. The election officials are doing a really good job of reminding everybody this, but we just want to make sure that we point it out as well because the propositions are all on the back of the ballot. So make sure you flip that over when you go to cast your vote today here in New York. And there's also some propositions in Massachusetts and Vermont as well that voters will be voting on. Vermont is opening until 7 o'clock tonight. That's when the polls are closing. Massachusetts will be closing at 8, and here in New York, the polls close at 9. So make sure you keep that in mind and go ahead and cast your votes today. We're live in Albany. Jennifer Mullen, CBS 6 News.